New questions are being asked about whether the United States should pay ransom for hostages held by ISIS. Today, Secretary of State John Kerry, among others, is weighing in about a shocking claim by the mother of Jim Foley, one of the Americans beheaded by ISIS terrorists. In an exclusive interview with CNN, Diane Foley says U.S. officials threatened her family with criminal charges if they gave in to the terrorist demands to pay ransom for her son. CNN Justice correspondent Pamela Brown is here. You've been speaking to Obama administration officials about this. What are they telling you?
Yeah, Brianna, U.S. officials who were directly involved in the Foley case say that essentially they were shocked by this idea that any government official would threaten the Foley family as they were trying to get their loved one back. In fact, today, Secretary of State John Kerry said he was taken aback by the claims. In her new interview with CNN, James Foley's mother says she was threatened by government officials that she would be prosecuted if she raised money to free her kidnapped son.
We were told we could not raise ransom, that it was illegal, we might be prosecuted.
Threatening someone with a criminal prosecution when they're trying to save their child is not only, in my opinion, reprehensible, it's also counterproductive.
Today, Secretary of State John Kerry says he's unaware of any officials suggesting criminal charges.
I am totally unaware and would not condone anybody that I know of within the State Department making such a statement, so I don't know about it.
Brian Cunningham is a former prosecutor and CIA officer. He says government officials are supposed to help advise families of hostages.
In my experience, not actually tried to criminalize the process of private citizens paying ransom. And no prosecutor in their right mind, no matter what their motivation, is going to bring that case.
But overnight, the National Security Council took a harder line, saying the law is clear that ransom payments to designated individuals or entities such as ISIL are prohibited. Doing so would only put more Americans at risk of being taken captive.
As an American, I was embarrassed and appalled.
And Diane Foley says the U.S. needed to do more to rescue her son. But sources say it wasn't the first time Foley had been kidnapped. A few years ago, Libyan militants released him after diplomatic efforts by U.S. officials. And the White House says rescuing Foley this time was such a priority, it sent in U.S. Special Forces in July.
The president was so convinced that this was a priority that he ordered a high-risk mission. Unfortunately, that despite the way in which that mission was executed, that is to say, successfully, it did not end in the release of Mr. Foley.
While Diane Foley says she is not blaming the U.S. government, she says the fact her son is now dead is proof something needs to change.
He was sacrificed because of just a lack of coordination, a lack of communication, a lack of prioritization. As a family, we had to find our way through this on our own.
And part of the challenge for law enforcement officials with hostage situations is that they can't share everything they know with the families of hostages. But Brianna, that's a little solace for the Foley family who were just trying to get their loved one back.
Yeah, no solace at all. Pam Brown, thank you so much. Let's get some